Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Don't know what that was, but we're going to keep it moving. My name is Lindsey A of VA, and I am your resource liaison. The whole point of this us going live every Wednesday, is to give different tips, tricks, motivation, and to interview some of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and some people that I don't even know who I just think would be an awesome resource for you all to have. So I wanted to take this first episode here and tell you guys a little bit about me and my story and where I am and where I came from. So yes. My name is Lindsey Anderson. I am from Portsmouth, Virginia. I have been an aspiring entrepreneur since 2017. In 2017, I had an awesome idea to start a business. I wanted to create a platform for aspiring entrepreneurs. I wanted them to have a safe space to kind of create and network and engage with each other. And I created this event called Boss Up. I put it out there. I spent a whole lot of money to put this event together. I had speakers, I had a caterer, I had all this merchandise, all these programs, all this stuff. Spent like $1,500. And when I put it out there, I sold one ticket. I had 2 vendors, and that was it. And I was devastated, like heartbroken. I was like, people aren't supporting me. This is such a good idea. What went wrong? And so, of course, me being me, I went home crying to my mom, and she was like, well, who are you right now? Because this is not who I raised. This is not who I created. So what's going on? And I told her what happened, and she was like, well, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. She's like, you're supposed to be worrying about our kids. You work well with the kids. Why would you not do something for our young people? We need to rectify the village. We need to build some bosses. And I was like, oh, what did you say? And she was like, we need to build some bosses. And I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I scratched this whole event that I had invested all this money into with 2 months, and I created Building Bosses, which is now a youth empowerment and leadership conference going on this 3rd year. But that's where I started. I started off failure. I started off of trying something and it did not work at all. And from Building Bosses, we went on to do so many things with Vision Driven LLC, to the point that last year during this pandemic, I was asking God to be very intentional about my business and what I wanted to do. And he was like, okay, I got you. World stop. And he shut down everything. I could be selfish and say that was just for me, but it helped. It helped me a whole lot. And Vision Driven LLC actually turned into Vision Driven 757 Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit where we gave out over 8,500 meals to children in need. We gave out over 200 fully stocked backpacks to kids going back to school. We gave out 16 devices to aid in virtual learning. We helped over 100 people during Thanksgiving with Thanksgiving kits. We had over 125 kids get gifts last year with our first angel tree. So things really started moving. But between 2017 and 2020, I was still working. I was still hustling and doing my 9 to 5 and then doing this on the side. In 2018, I was presented with an opportunity to open my own restaurant. And me being me, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. This is perfect. I don't want to work for anybody anyway. So I took the opportunity. Worst business deal of my life. When I tell you it was the worst business deal of my life, I mean the worst. I started in the red. I started in debt. I started in negative, okay? But I was so sure that I was going to be able to turn this thing around and make it work. It was a bad business deal. It was a bad business idea, but I still did it. I lost everything. I'm not going to hold you. I lost my whole 401k. I lost all my savings. I lost my mind a little bit. I lost everything. I had quit my job and put everything I had into this restaurant, and it failed after 6 months. But I got connected to some really amazing people who saw my ambition, who saw my drive, who saw my determination. I also learned how to create a whole business, not even a regular business, but a brick and mortar business. Because you can have an LLC. Don't let LLC Twitter get you, because they will. You can have an LLC, you can sell a product or have a service, but it's a whole different ball game when you get a brick and mortar. So I learned how to do that. I learned how to work with the city. I learned about permits, regulations, inspections, learned about all those things. So it wasn't a complete loss. I took that and I moved on to the next. I started doing event coordinating and planning. I had partnered up with a venue. We did all kind of things, and I started to do more for small businesses. We started hosting pop-up shops to help small businesses get their name out there. I started advising startup businesses on meet and greets, how to do your launch parties and get connected to the right people. And I started becoming a whole resource, right? I got people connected. I got people in the room. I got people from point A to point B. All the while still doing vision-driven stuff. All the while still worried about our kids and focused on our kids, because that is my heart. And so now in 2021, at the end of last year, I felt like I needed to do something new. I needed to do something different. I needed to do something more. I will always be about these kids. Please do not misunderstand. I will always be about these kids. But I've always had a passion to help other aspiring entrepreneurs get off the ground. And it's hard, because it's very hard, and it's scary. It can be intimidating. You can meet the wrong person and they can completely discourage you and think that you are not supposed to be doing what it is that you set out to do. And baby, I am here to stop that. Okay? So what am I doing? I'm a resource liaison. Sounds fancy, right? I know. I love it. Basically, I connect aspiring entrepreneurs with the right people to get their business off the ground. So whatever the idea is, I will review and analyze your idea. I'll take a look at it and see if it's gonna work, if it has a possibility to be tweaked a little bit. What about longevity? And I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna talk about, we're gonna talk about this thing. I like to get to know people, because the best way for me to help you is to know you, right? After we have a conversation about what it is that you want to do, why you want to do it, and who you are as a person, I start doing research to connect you to the right people. So many times we get connected to people, but they're not necessarily right, especially when the timing is off or we are trying to do too much too soon. So what I do is I connect people based on, one, their business, two, their personality, and three, what it is that they really want to get out of this. Some people want to be in business just to make money. Cool. If you got an idea and it's going to work and you want to make profits, let's just make these profits. Some people do and start businesses because it's just in their heart. It's just their purpose, and it's just what they're supposed to do. And I'm a firm believer that, God gives you these gifts to sustain your life. It's not just to do for others for the free. We're not doing for the free. And I realized that this is something I have been doing all along, and I just never really went for it. I never really put it out there. I never really was like, you know what? People should be paying me for this. I love giving advice. I love talking to people. And most importantly, I love motivating people. I love for people to walk in their purpose and to do what they were meant to do. I love for people to strive to be their best selves and to do what makes their heart happy. Nothing makes me happier than to have other people happy. I promise you on that. But we have to do this thing together. And that's one thing that I realized in this entrepreneurial journey and having different conversations with people, and especially with new and aspiring people. They would come and say, I have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. And it's like, or I don't know if it's a good idea. Now, honestly, I haven't heard too many ideas that weren't good ideas. And it's just about how you approach this thing. It's about being tactful, and it's about having the right people in your corner. Like they say, it's not always what you know. Sometimes it's who you know. So what I'm setting out to do is to connect people with the resources, the tools, and the knowledge that they need to get their businesses off the ground, to get that plan out there. And it's not even just for businesses. I will also connect you. I will help you plan and facilitate events. If you want to do meet and greets, launch parties, workshops, conferences, I'm here for all that good stuff. And if you just have a special project that you want to perform and you don't know where to start, I'm able to help with that as well. Really quick though, I want to talk about being an entrepreneur. One of my goals for 2021 is to be a financially stable full-time entrepreneur by June 17th, 2021. Yes, I have an exact date. Yeah, I'm not serious about that thing. By June 17th, 2021, I want to be a financially stable, I have to say the whole thing because that's what I mean, a financially stable full-time entrepreneur. That means that my business provides all my needs. Yeah? Yeah. And how's that looking? Actually, it's looking pretty great. I've already got a couple of clients that I'm super excited to get started with. And if you would like to get started with me, if you have some ideas, please feel free to click on my link tree in the bio and click on that introductory questionnaire and get that sent over to me so that I can reach out to you and we can set up a time to chat. Yeah. So let's talk about what you can expect with these Lessons with Lindsey live. We will be talking about entrepreneurial tips, how to introduce yourself, how to conduct yourself, what a power intro looks like, what an elevator pitch is, who you should be connected to and why. I'll also be bringing on some special guests, people that I feel like are bosses in the building, like leading in their lane and doing the thing and doing it well, right? I'll also be bringing on some entrepreneurs just to kind of share their story, talk about the setbacks and the mess ups and the mistakes and the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, because there will be highs and there will be lows. It does not matter how connected you are. This thing is a journey and it's going to be a roller coaster. Yeah. But we can do it together. And most importantly, the thing nearest and dearest to my heart is I'm going to motivate you to be your best self. I'm going to push you to do things that you didn't think you could do because, honey, you can do it. I promise you that much. So that's what we're going to be doing. This week, it's just an introduction. I just wanted you all to meet me and to know what to expect from Lessons with Lindsey. I am creating a YouTube channel, so if you don't catch it here, you can catch it on YouTube. I'm also going to be launching a couple other things this week, maybe next week. I don't want to jump the gun. I'm very big on obedience and doing things in time and in fashion. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I will tell you that something I'm super excited about is next week I will have my first guest. Stay tuned because she's awesome and you're going to love her, I promise. But one thing, if you saw yesterday on my story, or my story and in my feed, Clubhouse. Let's talk about Clubhouse for a second. Clubhouse is an amazing networking tool if used properly. I've been seeing some people who are not taking full advantage of Clubhouse, and we will talk about that another time. But I just want you to know Clubhouse is an amazing networking tool. A conversation that I moderated with my sisters yesterday was about mentors and coaches. If you have a business, are thinking about starting a business, or anything close to business, anything, you need a mentor and you need a coach. One of the coaches in the room said something so dope and I wanted to share it with you. He said, I don't take on new clients if they don't have a mentor. And that's so real and it's so true. And I just want to take a second to kind of talk about why you need a mentor and why you need a coach. First and foremost, a mentor is going to nourish your soul. They're someone who's doing what you aspire to do or doing what you do, but better, for longer, making more money, having more clients, whatever the case may be. They're up here while we're getting started right here. Your mentor should not be someone who's right here with you because y'all are learning together. Granted, you can have a tribe. You can have people that are on your level, that y'all are working and pushing each other to elevate, but your mentor should be where you're trying to go, not where you are. First thing. Your mentor should be someone who has a reputation about them, who's done the things that you want to do, not just talking about it, but actually done them. You can see it, it's tangible. They got numbers, they got receipts, they got books. That's what a good mentor is. I have a couple of mentors and I love them both very dearly because they are both about that business. I'm actually wearing one of my mentor shirts Purpose Pusher, and you can follow her at Purpose Pusher here on Instagram. But you want to make sure that your mentor is where you're trying to go. Now, what is the difference between a mentor and a coach? A coach is a little bit more broad. You can have a business coach, you can have a life coach, you can have a mindset coach, you can have a strategy coach. Coaches do everything, okay? And it's dependent on what it is that you want to do that you need to seek out a coach. I have a branding coach, I have a life coach, I have a therapist, and I have 2 mentors. So that's 5 people on my team right there. That's not even including my tribe. My tribe is a whole different circle of awesome women, right? But you want to make sure that you have the people that you need to get started. Do you have to have a mentor coming out of the gate? No, you do not. Do you need to have a mentor coming out of the gate? No, you do not. But you want to make sure that you seek out the help that you need. And that is where I come in. If you're not sure how to find a mentor, if you're not sure how to find a coach, or who you should ask, or how you should ask, that is what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do. That's how I'm here to help. I will give you templates. I will show you where to go and how to look for people. I will assure you that it might not be as easy as you think, because sometimes it's not. If you get a no, we'll talk about it and we'll push through it together. If you get a yes, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader, but that is why I'm here to help you, okay? And looking for a coach is the same thing, but I have a whole lot of resources that I cannot wait to share with you. Speaking of resources, if you are a resource, if you have a business, if you are in the mental health field, if you are a publicist, if you are any kind of coach, if you are a PR person, whatever the case may be, please DM me so that I can add you to my master list for my clients. I am working on being a nationwide brand, so it will not just be in the Hampton Roads area. Actually, I already have a client in Ohio, and I have one here in Virginia, so we are all over. So please don't think that just because you're in California and I'm in Virginia that I can't use you, because baby, I can. Okay? But going forward, this will be a safe space. You can look for positivity. You can look for light. You can look for guidance. You can look for whatever it is that you may need. We are going to do this thing together. If you have something on your heart, if you have an idea in your head, if you have a book that you want to write or a business you want to start, let me connect you. Let me get you to where you need to go and get you in the rooms that you need to be in. Let me let you know who you need to be speaking with. I will do the research for you. I will do the hard work. That is literally what my job is as a resource liaison, to connect you with the right people to make this thing work, because your ideas are not too small. Your dreams are not too big. And all you need to do is get connected to the right people at the right time. We only need one yes. You can have a world full of no's. I promise you, this is not something I heard. This is something I know. You can have a world full of no's, and that one yes is going to take you to the next level. That one yes is going to propel you to the next step. That one yes is going to do something that you never thought it could do before. I promise you. And if there's nothing else that I can do, I can tell you what I know. I can tell you what I've been through. I know because I lived it. I've fallen flat on my face. I have lost everything, and I have gained so much more. And you can too. If you're afraid, that's okay. I will hold your hand every step of the way. I promise you. If you're afraid, it's okay, because we will do it scared, because we'll do it together. Me as a resource is just what that is. I'm a resource. I'm here for you in any capacity. I'm here to take you wherever it is that you need to go. So, I'm not going to be long today, but our shows will usually last about 45 minutes in the future. But just to quickly recap, I am Lindsey A of VA, your resource liaison. How may I connect you? And I am here to make sure that together we get you started on the right foot. All right? So, if you feel like you are ready in 2021 to get this business started, to get that project going, to finally do that event or whatever it is that you have on your heart, go ahead and click that link in my bio. Go ahead and click that button that says introductory questionnaire, and let's get this thing started. We have big dreams, we have big goals, and we have big purpose all 2021, and I would love to help you do that. Next week I am going to be bringing on one of my sister friends, Kiani. She is a branding specialist and branding strategist and a life coach. She also does a number of things that I'm going to let her tell you about because I don't want to spoil it. But this is definitely some type of person that you would want to get connected to. And part of what we're going to be doing here on Lessons with Lindsey Live is teaching you the kind of people that you need to get connected to. So I will be having guests who do what I'm talking about, who teach what I'm saying, and who will be taking on new clients. That will be the question that I have at the end of every interview. Are you taking on new clients, and how can people get in contact with you? But if you don't know where to start, if you have the idea and you feel like it's a good idea, I'm telling you right now, it is. So let's get started on it together, okay? What you can be looking forward from me in the future, like I said before, is just different tips. We will talk about elevator pitches. We'll talk about product brand and product placement, and we'll talk about how to do different types of rooms, vendor events, how to present yourself, and just power intros. We'll talk about business strategies. We'll talk about business plans and what that looks like. We'll talk about who you need on your team and why. We'll talk about delegating, something I personally struggled with for a very long time, but we are getting this thing together right here now, and we're going to get off the ground, okay? All you have to do is take the first step. All you have to do is take that first step. And this thing is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Because whatever business it is that you have, whatever you're trying to start and whatever you want to do, we want it to have longevity. We don't want it to last a season. We want it to last a lifetime. Okay? Yeah? Right. So, I am Lindsey A. of VA, your resource liaison. How may I connect you? I hope that you all have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great rest of the day. It's only 8:30. We still got things to do. Y'all tune in with me next Wednesday on Lessons with Lindsey Live, and we are going to have a good time doing this thing, okay? All right. Y'all have a great night. Be easy.